Hello, everyone. It's me. I was gone MIA last week, holiday weekend last week, and how we all are just living it up in COVID time. And we're just having holiday parties and picnics and all sorts of bullshit. So I'll give you guys a minute to come on. I'm going to text my dad and let him know I'm on tonight. One moment, please. Okay, that's done. So if this is your first time tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know you're here. And let me know how you heard about this. Let me hear your, let's say your life stories, but no, I'll tell you that. So what this is about, for those of you who have not been a part of this, and for those of you on Facebook, please share it with your friends. You could join me on YouTube. My channel is Intuitive Medium Deborah Hanlon, and I am Deborah Hanlon. And what do we do every week? I usually start off a little ranty and venty, and I vent about my current life or chain of events in the world. And from there, it just plummets and goes down. So that's how this works. So let me see who is here. Sometimes I take intuitive questions, so you can stick around to see if I'll be doing that this evening. I usually take kind of generalized questions about all things intuition, energy related, consciousness related. I love talking about what our concept of blocks are. I'm currently midway in my coaching program, my 12-week coaching program, which has completely lit my own fire. It's lit my own fire. It has lighted? Why don't I know what the word is? But I'm excited about it. Let's put it that way. I have moved a lot of my work from connecting with the deceased, which is pretty fascinating and amazing work. But I have, over the last 15 years, been really evolving to really wanting to work with the living in helping us really connect with who we are inside. And once we are connected with this person here, then we can connect with the other side, then we connect with our life. So I really want to help the living live better and happier. Lit. Thank you. Oh, Puerto Rico in the house. Hello there. Or hola. I almost forgot I was going to say adios. Nope, wrong word. I took like 12 years of Spanish, and I actually used to understand it quite well and actually be able to speak it, but not anymore. Hello, Rhonda. It's been a while since we've seen each other. Rhonda, is this Rhonda? Like from high school, Rhonda? Is this you, Rhonda? Because I was thinking about you last week. I'm not even kidding. So if that's you, if you're a different Rhonda, I'm excited to see you too now. But if you're high school Rhonda, let me know, because I'd be totally like, I was thinking of you last week, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn, I'm going to read the fabulous comments everybody has about me, because it makes me happy. You're amazing. So I'm like, yeah, that's what my kids say about me all the time. Mom, you are amazing. You're a force of change and love and light in our life. They say it every day. My life has changed so much since meeting you 7 months ago. Love you. Carolyn, I love you. You are so, like I said tonight in the coaching, we had a class tonight from 7 to 8. I love the seekers. That's my thing. I love people who are seeking. People who are looking to change the way they're living in a way that's not working for them. I live for it. I'm never drained. I could literally talk 24 hours straight, and I never feel drained. I will say mediumship gets draining all the time, because it's a different level of focus for me. So mediumship, while I love it and it's fascinating, and it is so needed and necessary in everybody's transformation, what I've seen over the years is that's how people meet me. And after they have a session with mediumship, the reason why I started my center, which we just closed, but it's okay, was because people would have a reading, and then I'd wonder, like, did it help them? Did they like it? Did it, what's the deal? Is it what happened after the reading? Are they living better? Are they happier? Did the reading help? Did it not help? And so I started the center to be able to foster and keep the relationship going, and letting people learn more about themselves and energy and all that. And so that's been the trajectory of my life. And I love the coaching, and I love the seekers. I like people who are curious, people who know, something doesn't feel right in my life and I need it to change, but I don't know what it is or how I need to change it. You are the people I love. You are the people I want to work with. Because I don't know, there's so much. The word came up, and I see you here, Mike. The richness of our pain, the richness of our triumphs and our shit that we've lived through. I find the human spirit truly to be fascinating and strong and amazing and resilient. And I think we forget that. I think media talks so much about the negative sides of human beings, and there is that in myself. I'm a psycho when I'm psycho. I'm not, oof, I can lose my shit quickly. So we're all psycho. We're all crazy. And for the people who say, no, I'm not, I'm very peaceful, you're lying. You are lying to yourself. And let me help you with that. So let's just own when we're, I have a post that says, own your inner psycho. Just own her or him. Just own it. It's totally okay. It's part of human nature, but let's move on so we could be good human beings for the most part. However, if you drive slow in the left lane, all bets are off. I'm going to lose my shit. If you're mean to other people, particularly on social media, I see people's comments and I'm like, oh my God. And I think I want to do like a side gig. Hear me out on this, because I thought about this today in the shower. I love the phrase, the comeback is always better than the setback. And I don't know who said it. I wish I did. I wasn't the originator, but I love it. The comeback is better than the setback. So I was thinking that today, but I was thinking in the terms of, as a kid, I was pretty good at having really good comebacks to people when they were rude. More so when someone was rude to like a friend of mine. Oh, my comebacks were scathing, right? As a kid, I was very defensive of people, in particular people getting bullied. And I was like, I'm like a justice junkie, right? So I remember a boy I used to babysit for, and he was like 12 years old, and I had to babysit for him, and he was bullied terribly. And I was in 10th grade, maybe 10th or 11th grade. I was driving, so maybe 11th grade. And I saw kids bullying him after school one day. And I was in 11th grade. I was driving, and I pulled the car around. I got out, and there's a bunch of 12-year-old boys, like a group of them, totally like making jeers and making fun of this kid, Corey. And I went ballistic, like scared the living shit out of these 12-year-old boys, right? Like, if you ever follow him again, I'm going to follow you. And I mean, I have comebacks, though. I don't remember what my comebacks were, but I was good with comebacks. So I digress. So I had this whole thought of like, I would love like a part-time job of just coming up with comebacks for these like little assholes on social media. I would like that. I would find that fun, which I find ironic because I really like lifting people up, and I really like helping people connect to joy in their hearts. But I also like, I'll tear you motherfucker down if you're hurting somebody else. More so if somebody hurting somebody else. If you're hurting me, I'm just like, all right, whatever, nice try. But when you're hurting somebody else, I go ballistic. So I want a part-time job of writing comebacks to people. Just that was my great thought today. Love that you are human and psycho. Totally. Oh, Carrie, thank you. Blue shirt. Oh, I almost didn't wear this shirt. I've been in it all day. It probably smells. I showered and everything. Thank you. I think it's the lighting and some new makeup that is kind of changing my life. You're supposed to have moisturizer with zinc in it. So I've been doing that. And I actually have it out. Part of my new makeup thing, has anyone seen this? This is not like a makeup show, but let's go here. We're talking about raising our spirits and our happiness. Trini, it's called Trini London. Have you heard this? You probably have all seen her ads on Facebook, and I suck her. I fall for it. I actually like her, and I like her stuff, and this makes me happy. It's cheek color. Let's show you. Cheek, that's pretty bold. Cheek and lip. And then this is also cheek and lip, but it's glossy. And then this is something I never used ever in my life. It's like eyeshadow and shimmery stuff, right? And you just put all over your face and you just do it with your fingers. There's no makeup brushes and stuff. Like, I don't do that. I'm not like a real girl. So thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Let's see. You got my book today. Oh, that's exciting. Left-Leaning Assholes, Immediate Road Rage. I know, right? Let's see. You're Irish. We can't escape going batshit crazy. For those of you who have seen my video on me in the car, I couldn't leave my car Friday. I just couldn't cope, right? Mothers, parents out there. My kids are amazing. I'm not kidding. I'm not that asshole mom that's like, my kids are the greatest. They're so great. They're kids. Stop. They're annoying, right? But they really are. They're really good human beings. They're kind. They work hard. They're mindful. They're just like, they're good human beings. I actually enjoy being with them. I swear to God, I would say if I don't. But Friday, I look back at it now. I was like really pre-grieving something, but Friday I was like, oh, I can't cope anymore with people being in my house 24/7. Like, I can't do it. I could not cope anymore. Like, I had a doctor's appointment in the morning for like the yearly physical that I was so excited for, because I was like, oh, I'm getting out, and no one can come with me because no COVID. You can't come into the doctor's office. So that was fun. So I get home and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. I don't even have errands to do. There's nothing to do. What do I have to do anymore? I don't do shit. So, and I'm okay with that. So I just sat in my driveway. And I just couldn't cope. And they don't even bother me. Okay, they don't. They're so great. We have great conversations. They're in their rooms. They're outside playing basketball or doing whatever. But you guys know, there's a breaking point that happens. And I was there. And then the next morning, I'm taking my oldest son to the airport because he moved to California. So now, hindsight, I'm looking back like, oh, I was really overwhelmed with the emotions that were coming up because knowing what was happening the next day, but I couldn't cope with them. I was like in denial all week about it. Like, no, it's fine. He's just doing a sleepover. He's doing a sleepover at a friend's house, and he'll be back on Sunday. So I kept having to tell myself. So here I am ranting over, I just need my time alone. I need space. I need to not think. And then the very next day, I am sobbing all of Saturday. I'm not kidding. All of Saturday sobbing. And I was sad because he's like moving on. Women, like, you've been through this, like, you realize, oh crap, like the day we thought would never come, like where you're supposed to like set them free. It was like, oh my God, he's in the airport by himself. He's a big boy now. Oh my God. So sobbing, and I was so proud of him. I was sobbing because I'm so proud of him making the hard decision of just giving this a try, right? So I was so proud, crying, sobbing. And then I felt psychotic because 1 minute I was like, God damn it, I need my space. Just stop talking to me, even though they're not bothering me, right? They're just in my head. And the next day I'm like, oh, come back. Don't leave me. It's fine. Stay in my house. So I felt bipolar. I literally legit felt bipolar. Like, wow. So I posted that on Instagram because I also have a new addiction to the Snapchat filters, which, hello. How come no one really has told me about these filters before? I mean, the filters that I knew they had like funny faces, like the stupid dog and stuff, and the tongue comes out. I've known about it, but the skin filters, one's called Naomi. Ladies, check it out. You will never take another photograph without it again, because I'm not. I took a picture of I hate photos. I'm not like a poser. You know how like women, like, how come everybody knows how to like put their arm in a certain way anymore, and they turn their body and their leg? How come I see all these women doing this? Like, we're 45. We're not getting but they're doing it. They're looking good. I'm going to do that And I'm going to look like a total asshole, right? I'm going to be like, I'm awkward still with a great pose. I don't know how you guys learn posing. And forget about the young girls. It's just they come out of the womb and they're just like posing perfectly. And it looks natural. That's not me. But why do we take photos without these filters? I've never taken a selfie in my life. I'd die because, come on. I don't think selfies are nice. I don't think they ever look great. And when you like FaceTime and you pick up your phone and you just see your chin and everything and it's like horrible and you're like, wow, I had no idea I was walking around so abhorrently ugly. So like I've stayed away from the whole selfie thing. No, I started taking selfies with these filters. I was like, oh, this is my next logo. This is professional grade shit I've got here. So that's what I've been doing all weekend. Getting drained by being talked to, sobbing because my son's away. All day work yesterday, work today, and a lot of avoiding work today. And that's about it. Can I spell the makeup company? Yes, Trini. I'm telling. First of all, I love this woman. I'm her fan. She's another YouTuber, Facebooker woman. Trini, Trinny. Her makeup is Trini London, but her name is Trini Woodall or something. I love her. She does makeup, but she also does clothing and accessories, and she's got a British accent, and then she talks about like how fun these earrings go with these, what does she call her? Trainers. Her sneakers are trainers, and every outfit looks amazing. And I just sit there and dumb myself out and just watch, and I imagine myself accessorizing, and she like buys blazers and like how to do it up and how to do scarves and stuff, and it's really entertaining. And then I think that I could own a blazer because Trini talked about it for 12 episodes. And so I bought a blazer. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I love my height. I actually don't even mind my body type for the most part. I could be a lot thinner and fitter and tighter. It's pure sheer laziness at this point. And I'll cope with it at some point. But I'm not terribly unhappy with my physique in clothing. And out of clothing is a whole other story. I digress. Greg, you say something, I'll kill you. So, anything negative. You could say something positive, though. You could be like, wow, what a great rack she has. Something. You can say that. That's fine. Anyway, so I don't mind my physique. I have very broad shoulders. But it fits, right? But it's broad shoulders. So I'm a little linebackery. So a blazer for a tall, long-waisted, broad-shouldered woman who's not a supermodel thin has never looked good, ever. But Trini went through this whole episode with blazers, and I thought to myself, I'm getting one because they're good. They're gonna work. So I bought it, and it came in the mail. And my son, who loves clothing, was like, oh, no, Mom. No. What is that? What'd you get? So I did return the blazer. But Trini, she's a really good influencer because I even had myself convinced, even though I've lived 44 years on the planet and 35 of them have not been blazer wearable. And yet she convinced me maybe I can rock a blazer. I can't. I looked like Frankenstein. I looked like this big boxy man, Stein. It was terrible. It's amusing. I should have taken a picture of it. Maybe next time. So there. That's Trini London is a makeup company, and Trini, I think it's Woodall. If you just type in Trini and wardrobe, she'll pop up. Closet Confessions. That's the name of her show. Fabulous. Oh my God, posing the right way is necessary. Ranting, batshit crazy, bipolar, denial, asshole, I found the right place. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, you're perfect here. Thank you. Good, smart. That was smart. My son is in California and he's watching, and he said Grandpa's watching, and he says hi. Hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy. How you doing? I have broad shoulders to hold up the rack. There you go, Greg. Oh my God. Patty, I'm glad you joined Instagram. Did you friend me or like me or whatever you have to do on Instagram? I can't follow me. I think it's a follow on Instagram. I love Instagram. I'm telling you, I love it. Obsessed. And it's going to be, I'm so sorry. I'm going to apologize now. I'm not going to stop with the filters. I'm not. In fact, my friend Laura and I, we have an idea. We have an idea and we're going to do it. I'm going to make her follow through on this idea with me because it's hilarious. Because we only talk to each other through filters and they're so unbelievably stupid. But I know that you would all be entertained because my brain is your brain. So, yeah. And thank you, Christine. Thank you very much for that comment. Oh, Jack saying he misses Kim, which is his girlfriend's mom. Oh my God, setting these little angels free. I took a picture of Jack as he was walking into the airport, and I took it a little too late because I was fumbling like an old lady mom, like that doesn't know how to use technology and you want to punch them, you know, those kind. I was that. And I finally got a picture at the last second, and all I could see is this little red backpack dot. Let me see if I could pull it up. It was terrible. It was embarrassing. Oh, come on. Can I just show you? I'm showing you a photograph. I took a selfie. Never in my life have I taken a selfie. I fucking hate selfies. Okay, I can't. The day I start smiling and I like myself, I fucking kill me, right? Except now with the Snapchat filter. Come on. I don't look like this. I'm okay. But come on. That is with the Naomi filter. The thing makes you look like you have flawless skin and dazzling eyes and amazing hair. I'll show you Facebook. I'm telling you, that is some damn good filtering. And you guys are going to see that. I'm not kidding. I'm using that. I'm using that as if it's my face. And you guys, my faithful followers who tune in to YouTube and Facebook, you guys are going to know the truth, but everybody else is going to be like, wow, she's nice looking. You guys are going to be like, well, yeah, I mean, you know, if you have filters on her, it's fine. So, get in Snapchat, use the Naomi filter. It's going to boost your self-esteem, I tell you. My God. I mean, if I had that at 12, I'd have been like, damn, I'm beautiful. And like my self-esteem would be like fantastic. So, and nobody needs to say like, oh, you're beautiful no matter what. Your insides are, don't worry, I'm good. I like myself. I'm totally, totally fine with myself. I really, really am for the most part. I've got lump handles. I've got lumps. I've got veins. I've got like, you know, the claw marks, I call them. What do you call them? Stretch marks. Those are fun. And I'm still like, oh, well, what the fuck? You know, I guess that's what happens when you're in your 40s. It's just like, what? Please, you're lucky I'm talking to you. Right, ladies? That's how we feel. Let me move this. Right. People see us in real life without the filters and think we're dying. But you know what's great? Another positive of COVID. We're not seeing anyone in person. I'm gonna be like, God, I'd love to see you in person. I'd really love to go to like your dog's baptism and everything, but I can't make it because COVID, and I'm trying to social distance and, you know, do my part socially by not spreading it. That's what I'm doing. I'm following the rules, you guys. I'm following the rules. I'd really like to go to your dog's baptism. Naomi Hanlon has a ring to it. Ghostwriter for your next book. Yeah, Naomi. I thought it was more of like an L. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Let's see. I just tried that filter. I look like the same old person. Robin Malloy, you do not. That I know. You don't even need the fucking filter. Robin is the most amazing freaking body, everything that you could die for. So, no. Okay, let's see. All right, Carolyn is asking a question, like an actual question without me ranting. So this is perfect. Thank you, Jen. So I was at Ground Zero 19 years ago as a nurse. Now that I see the footage, shit looks like a controlled demolition. Never in a million years would I ever attribute. Now I see it. How about you? It totally looks like a controlled demolition. It totally does. I remember them talking about it then and being aggravated, like, with the whole, like, conspiracy theory thing, because there was a part of me that was much more naive 19 years ago. Shocking, I know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. It's one of those things that every, like, September 11th and all the footage comes back around, it does kind of surface, but I don't, me personally, intuitively, I don't have a definitive way whatsoever. And I really try to stay away from, if you call that one a conspiracy theory, I tried to stay away from it, even though it's pretty remarkable what the building just went down and stuff, but I don't know anything about anything, actually. So I don't know. I don't know. And that's literally one that I, like, could flip flop at any day. Right. So I really, and this might be naive. Do I want to go there? It's political, but it's totally not political, like, as far as sides go, because I don't give a shit about sides. I think my view of power in more of a holistic or a collective, a whole, is that if each individual person finally understood how powerful our thoughts, our actions were, and enough of the right people, meaning the people with right intentions, which in my mind, right intentions, there's people that are looking out for the body as a whole, for the globe as a whole, and not different countries and different states and separation. But when you're looking at the whole, when enough of the people who are looking out for everybody and everything and every being and every animal and plant, we'll realize, like, there's tremendous power there, way more power than there is in the hands of a few individuals or governments or however all that works, which I don't know how it works. So getting back at this, I am a little naive, I think, in thinking that I really do, and as I know you do too, Carolyn, really do believe in the best of people, even though I've seen the worst of people close to me. I've seen the worst. It's shocking. But so my flip on this question is that, like, if we could only get the right amount of people who have the right intentions, meaning not selfish intentions, that, you might have to take the back seat because someone else is more important than you, and that doesn't diminish who I am, and it doesn't elevate someone else or vice versa, but that's the collective consciousness I would love to see on the planet. And I think it's moving in that direction, but maybe I'm just naive. But I'd rather be naive and see the best in people than the worst. And at the same time, when someone shows me who they really are, I believe them. Like Miss Oprah said, I believe them, and I don't look back. I don't. I really, at this point in my life, no second chances. So there's that part of me. Every once in a while, I notice that the days here and there seem like we're living in a shadow. During solar eclipses, it looks like this, but it's not an eclipse yet. Things are clear. What is this? I don't know. I have not noticed this. The last 2 days, I've noticed, and it's not a spiritual noticing. It's more of like that fall, and there's no breeze, there's no sun. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's not cloudy, it's not raining, but it's also not sunny, and nothing's moving. No breeze, nothing. I don't like these days. I don't like these types of fall days. Give me a breezy fall day. So I don't know what that is, Jennifer. I don't know because I haven't experienced this. Okay, so Tara said, I know we've talked about house numbers, and since in our coaching class we did our homes this week, yes, in our coaching class we're talking about energy in our homes and what it means and how we can upgrade it and how we change it. And so she's saying, can you talk about room colors? I have a lot of blues and grays in my house. So the gray thing is like such a popular like color right now. It's the most popular. It's like the new neutral, right? I think that's what they call it, but it's not even that new. It's a good, I think it's like 8-10 years old now, but I love the gray. My whole house is gray as well. So blues think again in terms of chakras, even though it's not like an electric blue. Blues are a calming energy. You can Google stuff of like the psychology of color to understand a little bit more about how the human mind interprets different color, because like we talked about in the coaching, that there's a science to color, and that's why every single fast food chain uses a red, orange, yellow, or orange tone in their logo, because those colors are linked to impulsive behavior. It's related to survival instincts, food, eating, and what do you call it? Why can't I think of it? I can't think of the word. So in the human mind, when we see it, for some reason we attach food to red, orange, or yellow, where you really won't see a fast food chain being a light pale blue. So I think you could Google like the psychology of color and get a lot of answers specifically for you, especially knowing you, Tara, for like what different colors match. But also the bagwas that we talked about last night in feng shui, they suggest certain colors in certain areas of your home. But I feel I've done this my whole life. Like once I'm in a space, I feel what colors things should be according to the way I like them. Maybe a designer would say, oh my God, that's terrible. And then very often it very much matches up with the bagua naturally. So like in my dining room, we have I put all of our ancestors, people I looked up on like Ancestry.com, Greg's ancestors, grandparents, aunts, uncles who passed, and like all the current family, all black and white photos everywhere in the room. And then I found out later that room does really well energetically with a lot of black and white photos in it, which I thought was cool. So I think there's more of a intuitiveness about what you choose and where you put it. I just saw Jen's comment on Facebook, and it's so true. Playing a new game, I take a shot every time you talk with your hands. I'm going to sleep good tonight. I can't stop. I know. I do this a lot. You would think I'm Italian, right? Don't they say Italians do this? Do the Irish do this? I mean, maybe I'm not Irish. I don't know. You're Irish. You're playing a shot game. I know. I try not to. If I sit on my hands, let's try that. I'm just going to become a dullard. I'm just going to be like, hi, everybody. There's no energy going through my body right now. That's what I feel. Oh, golly. But let me know how your night goes. What are you drinking? What's your shot you're taking? Have I ever been really attracted to a spirit you've encountered, or has one followed you for a lengthy period of time? Carol, you have really good questions, but I'm gonna clarify. Like attracted, like boom chicka bum bum, like that kind of attracted, or was there a spirit like I really liked? I just need some clarity here. Just curious. I have never slept with a spirit. I have not. I was gonna say something, but you just watched me filtering myself. And I did it again because I was gonna say it again, and I was like, Deb, don't say it. I might say it later. I really want to say it now, but I'm not going to. Ben and Jerry's. So spirit, like sexually attracted to a spirit? No, thank God, because I would find that to be disturbing on many levels. Remember there was a woman that said she married a dead pirate. Do you guys remember that? And they would have sex and stuff. Yeah, that's why I don't tell people I'm a medium, because people like that in the world are going to totally like, yeah, that's fucked up. That's incredibly mentally ill. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. Because somebody has to. No. But that's why I don't tell anybody what I do for a living. It's like, oh yeah, I read about a woman. You ever date a pirate? No, I didn't. But has one followed you for a lengthy period of time? In the very beginning of my, there's my hands, process, when I lived in the house that my ex-husband and I lived in together, there was an energy that I never noticed before, but there was an energy that I felt when we moved into that house. And I would like talk to him and be like, all right, who do you belong to? And it was the very beginning of my own personal journey with mediumship. So I was kind of playing with it, and I'd ask questions and I'd feel this energy, and I could feel it was a male, and I could feel that he was had issues with addiction and drugs and alcohol. And he was fairly young, like somewhere in his, late 20s, 30s, somewhere in there. And I say fairly young, but that's very young now. But fair, I didn't mean young like 12. And I would ask him questions. I would say, "What's your name?" And he would say, "Steven. Steven. Name's Steven." I'd be like, "Oh, hi. How you doing? Okay, what do you want? Am I going to meet your family later?" Because I'd go to the mall, and at that time, like I would kind of I was open to like giving readings in public as far as just like on the spot, just because I was curious and I was practicing everything. But he's with me, he's with me, he's with me. And I never understood that. And it was constant. I'd feel him all the time. He was a little unnerving, but he's not like creepy or bad, but it was sort of like, oh, Steven's here again. And I thought I was batshit crazy. I didn't think like, I didn't think it's not like I heard voices and there was like a psychological problem here. There was a presence. I just can't explain it. And for years, he would come in and out of my life. When I moved out of that house and I moved into a townhouse after our divorce, I felt him one time, and I hadn't felt him in years. And then all of a sudden he was like behind me as I was coming up the stairs. And I was like, oh my God, what are you doing back, Steven? I don't understand it. What are you doing here? And he was, and I haven't really heard from him since. I had a reading with John Edward on the phone on my birthday. And he says, there's a man here, passive drugs and alcohol. He says his name is Steven. Do you know who he is? And I was like, no, I don't know who he is. But yes, I do know who he is. Now, I don't tell John Edwards what I do because I wanted him to tell me what I did because I was like, oh, let me test you, bro. Just kidding. And I was floored. And he was like, well, no, and he goes on with the message. And I was like, that confirmed it for me. Holy crap. That confirmed it for me. So I don't know who he belongs to. So that's the one that would follow me for a lengthy period of time. But I haven't had that sense in years and years. So I don't feel any energy here in this house, which I like. It's fairly new construction too. Like, how old is our house? 15 years old. So yeah. Oh yeah, don't forget to thumbs up, guys, on what is this? YouTube. Let's see. Hi, Allison. Curious on your thoughts on the word victim. Many friends on Facebook are using the word victim. What's a way to defend victim versus how someone is feeling? Not sure I shared correctly. You shared perfectly. This is very controversial. A lot of you will love my answer and a lot of you will hate me for my answer. So I am going to ask you in advance to just hold steady and listen to me before anyone wants to have a reactive feeling. The word victim is a very powerful word. It has no connotation of anything joyful and joyous. And it is a very disempowered word. So you never hear of a positive situation where someone is a victim, right? The victim is naturally in the context that we use the word in English, victim is usually not a good scenario. So having that awareness of the word itself, it is being thrown out there just as much as the narcissistic stuff that's out there. The constant, well, my ex is a narcissist. Well, this person's a narcissist. Blah, 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 blah. I have very firm reactions to the use of narcissist and victim because they go hand in hand. I am not saying that some people are not victims to terrible actions and functions of society. I am not saying that at all. If you hear me saying that, you are hearing me incorrectly and you're only hearing your own narrative. So hear my words. And I like this question, Carolyn, because I want to bring empowerment back to people. And the more we use the term victim, the more we stay a victim. And there are people who are victims to circumstance. And technically, we absolutely, every one of you tuning in and hearing this can absolutely use the word pertaining to some event, or maybe even several events, or maybe your entire lifetime, that you have been a victim. I have been a victim to issues and controversies and lack and the way family members have treated me, and I've been a victim to that. I've been a victim to how people their perspective of me based on what I do, and then they lash out, and I've been a victim to that, right? So we all could absolutely say we are a victim, have been a victim in broad sense. This is separating from people who have been true victims to abuse, victims to circumstance, to poor judicial agreements. That I'm not talking about that context of the word in that sense. However, the victim consciousness is one that you will not get yourself out of if you keep using the word. You will not. It is vibrationally, it's along the lines of a learned helplessness vibration, that once you keep affirming that, well, I was a victim. I was a victim to my narcissist ex. I was a victim to da. That's a storyline. That's a great narrative. I'm not even saying it's not true. It could totally be true. I'm not denying that. I don't know your life. But then what? Then what? Like, where do you go from there? Because survivors never say they were victims. Thrivers never say they were victims. They say, I made it through this circumstance. And there is a difference when we use that word. So I love this question. I know it's like you see it on Facebook. I see it on social media too. And I do see it hand in hand with narcissism. The term narcissism is a majorly social media buzzword. It's very trendy right now. It's occupying all of the Psychology Today advertisements. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. It's bullshit. Most people that are claiming severe narcissism towards others will refuse to look at their own. And this is where I say you're not going to like me with this. You will not look at your own. We're all narcissists. We're all assholes. We're all very self-focused and self-centered. And there are moments when we're not. You know, as a parent, an aunt, an uncle, a caregiver, teacher, you know, a nurse, as you grow your roles and titles, there are certain aspects where there are moments where you can't just take care of yourself. But at the end of the day, we're all pretty narcissistic. We're all looking out. We all got to figure it out. And that's the way life goes. But if everyone else is a narcissist, you're just not trying to look at any part of you and your engagement with another personality. So, victim, you will stay and remain a victim if you keep using the word for yourself. You will also keep people as a victim if you keep using the word that way. And again, I'm not denying, because I know someone's gonna tear me up. And how dare you? I was raped and I was a victim, and I would 100% agree with you. So I'm not disagreeing with that. So whoever you are, shh, quiet. So not quiet, because God forbid I silence anybody. But it's a consciousness thing that we really need to be aware of. So I like that you're bringing it up, because I'm seeing it too. I'm seeing it a lot on Facebook and in people's day-to-day conversations. And that's a very powerful, strong word to be throwing around like crazy, as is narcissism. Does that help? Does that make sense? Some of you are like, click, I hate her. And then you could say, and I'll say, okay, sorry, bye. Back to my spiritual self. And again, remember, everything I say and do and think about is for, what is empowering a person? That is what I go, what is empowering? Not creating power over people. What is empowering in yourself? What feels good to you? What authentically feels good to you? I guarantee using the word victim over and over is making you stay very stuck in a consciousness and a mindset of lack, of less than, of disempowerment, of life unfair, injustice. You're staying. That's what the word keeps you in. So when you reframe it or refocus your energy and your wording around something, it changes the energy of the way you're describing something. So think, am I a victim or am I a survivor of something? That changes the intonation completely. So great question, Carolyn. Let's see. You should be proud of yourself for 40 something. You are really a world of knowledge. Thank you for sharing all of your sides. Oh, oh, you meant bow chicka bow wow, Carol, huh? Interesting. No, I've not engaged in any inappropriate activity with a spirit. That would be creepy. I did used to sleep with a dead person, though. That's what I was going to say before, but I was just talking about my ex-husband. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to say it. See, I couldn't filter it the third time around. I did it twice. Third time, I forgot that you were going to like answer your own question. So there, that's what I was saying. And I'm sure he's listening. So hi. This is so fun. This is so fun. Are there any? Oh my God, I laugh this. Oh my gosh, crazy, crazy. And Karen wanted me to say it. See, there you go, Karen. There we go. There we go. I said it. Hello, James. Oh my God. You love this response. I'm not even done. Hello, Amber. You're never late for me. Every chapter of my life, there's been some degree of victimization. People suck. Yes, but if you keep focusing, yeah, I think all of us to a degree has had that in certain degrees. Some have a lot more than others, for sure. Yeah, survivors and thrivers never call themselves victims. I love this. Thank you, Christina. That's all we have to do is change things. That one line is a perspective change, and it changes everything. And it doesn't negate any of the negative stuff we've gone through, because we are survivors and thrivers. No, we don't need to stay victim. Victim is more of in the moment. You could be a victim of something, but after that moment has passed, to process it properly and move forward with it and from it and through it, then you think survivor and thriver. Let's see. Thank you, Serena. If you spot it, you got it. That's right. What if someone calls you being a victim? I'm not, but I was called that and it's not true. Oh, I would say, me think you doth protest too much. Not you, that person, or project too much. I'd change the quote from Shakespeare. Anytime people say to you without being asked, if you didn't ask somebody, if I ask somebody like, hey, what's your perception of me? Then I'm asking for that perception. I can still say like, oh, that's their perception of me, and either totally agree with it or not. But anytime it's unsolicited, like advice or unsolicited commentary, it's a huge projection of their own stuff most of the time. So no doubt if someone is calling someone else, oh, they're just being a victim, it's probably their own stuff, or it's probably they know very little about you, but what they do know, they're spinning it as an interpretation of a victim. Because remember, I've lived inside this body and mind for 44 years. So I know like some shit that went down and some good stuff. And I know that all that. But if you meet me and, well, you guys tune in every week, right? And so like you think you know me, but you know an aspect of me. And this is why I always try to feel like I kind of want to try to show you all my sides, because I never want that like, wow, she's so amazing and because I'm not. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm totally an asshole. I'm totally like I'm a volcano, much less than I ever was, but I like to show that side of me. But people only, they put you in a category based on all they've observed, which is a teeny tiny fraction of anyone's life. Other than your siblings, because you've been with them a very long time, there's probably not that many people that you could nail their personality and be totally accurate. Unless you're Deborah and you're intuitive, but whatever, she's amazing. So that's what I would say, Carolyn. Let's see. Hello, Maria. I like the word pejorative. Someone just used, Marnie just used the word pejorative. I'm a victim of abusive power. Created movement in my life, so I moved on from it. And I wanted to be a victim. Made me realize I'm not a victim and people suck. Yeah. Let's talk about that because, yeah. How many of you since COVID and quarantine have an incredibly less tolerance for humans, for people? Because all I hear is how much no one can cope with anyone, myself included. And I'm finding this observation pretty amazing. I think like we were all faking it before. We were all just doing the whole pleasantries of like, good morning, Sue. How are you today? As you walk into the office on a Monday morning. Good, how are you? How was your weekend? It was good. It was busy, it was hectic. And you know, all that fluffy shit talking where nobody's connecting, and then you're just like, oh, Sue's got a great life. She didn't have 19,000 dog baptisms to go to. And then like nobody's really real. Nobody's really honest. Nobody's really true and all that. So COVID has kept us within and around our own people. Our people who we let our hairs down a little bit more with, you know, that we are seen without makeup. And I have the Corona button. I have it every day. I love the Corona button. I'm not giving it up. So we're like ourselves more of the time. And a lot of like YouTubers are like, I'm feral. I don't even know how to like go back into public. But how many of you are finding like you have no tolerance for frivolous communication, for stuff that doesn't really matter? I don't have the energy for those like, oh, good. It's a great weekend. Yeah, it's good. Good for you. You know, I did a return at Macy's. You know, this is the stupid shit we're talking about to each other. I can't even. That's why I'm not a teacher, a nurse. I don't work for corporate. I can't work for a nonprofit. I can't have real coworkers. That's why I talk to the dead, because they're friendly. They're nice. They're really fun. And it's real and it's deep and it's meaningful. But really a lot of our life is so superficial and stupid, and we waste a shit ton of energy on being like cordial. You know, there's always good to be cordial, but like, do you really care about someone's return at Macy's? I don't. I literally don't. I don't care about my own return at Macy's, which is why I don't do it. And then I have like tons of clothes with tags on it. And then I lose the receipt anyway. And then I'm like, oh, great. It's just more money I'm going to give for nothing. But I digress. So do you find yourself now having less tolerance for people, but yet how many of you are happier without the energy wasted on superficial, constant conversation about nothing? And we all know it. We all know how, like, you know, very few people really enjoy that awkward, hey, how are you? Good. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just here to pick up cat food. Yeah, it's crazy. How's the weather? My gosh. It's December. Can you believe it's snowing? Shocker. You know what I mean? It's hot. It's July. Woo, it's hot out here. This is the shit we talk about. I like not being around humanity. I don't have any of this frivolous, stupid conversation. I get to go real deep with people real quick. And I like it. I like to know what makes you tick. What are you upset about? What shame? What guilt are you carrying? What do we need to work with you through? What traumas did you have? What joys did you have? What aha moments did you have? What things did you accomplish? What goals are you setting? That to me is way more fun than like, yeah, I went to a barbecue on Saturday and I tried this really great creme brulee. My God, I'm like, oh, kill me. Kill me now. No. That is literally how I operate. I cannot cope with frivolous conversation. And then once I know I can go deep with someone, then I'm like, oh my God, you gotta try this lip gloss. This sounds great. So I'm shallow as fuck, you know? But I can only do that with people that I know can go deep. Does that make sense? Do you guys relate? Yes? Hello, Jane. That's see. Okay, Cassie, this is a great question. What are your thoughts on those of us that need constant validation? I've struggled with this for years and would love some direction on how to deal with or move on from. It's a super great question. And you definitely have to take the coaching program the next time around, because this is the whole tenet or basis of the entire coaching program. I talked about it tonight with the group. First of all, the external validation might be part of your love language. And if you're not familiar with the love languages, you just look up 5lovelanguage.com. You take this little quiz, and it kind of gives you a little insight on what are one of 5 ways that you feel loved by someone else. And one of them are words of affirmation. And it might be that one of your love languages is words of affirmation. You feel good when someone says, "Hey, wow, that looks nice on you," or "You're doing a really great job," or "Like, I really appreciate that." That feels good to you, and that is enough to feel secure and safe. So that's part of it. Could be part of your love language. Most likely is. However, what do we do when we're not getting that? We stab the people who aren't doing it. Yeah, no, that's not correct. You have to start looking at, what are you attaching? What parts of yourself, your identity, your ego, your worth, your value, who you are, what part of that are you attaching to outside of you? So people who don't feel successful unless they drive a certain car, people who don't feel successful unless they're wearing a certain outfit or they have a certain title or blah, blah, blah. That's an external validation. Nothing wrong with it. It's the way we're wired. This is what happens, but it doesn't feel good because that external validation is never quenched, because once you get it, you need more of it to keep you going. So we work on, in the coaching whole program, is we're working on the flip of that, of when you feel calm and centered and enough and whole. For the most part, nobody feels that 24/7 by any means. But when you like who you are and where you're at, regardless of all the shit you've been through and all the mistakes you've made and all this and that, when you sit with that person, you go, you know what, I do enjoy this person. I do know that I try my best. When you sit with that inside, the external doesn't really become that important. It becomes, what I said tonight in our group, it becomes a bonus. So if you feel successful inside and you feel like, I'm doing the very best I can, I'm happy with that in this moment, getting a brand new car because of the fruits of your labor of working is really nice, and it's super exciting, and it feels good, and you appreciate it, but it doesn't fill this, because this is already filled. The thing I said in the coaching thing tonight was, I want people to get to the place in their life that you can literally say in any particular moment, if life for me does not get better than this moment, I'm the luckiest person alive. That's what I want people to be able to authentically say and feel. Because externally, it doesn't matter what you have, what you don't have, what you've accomplished, not accomplished, who you married, not married, kids, having kids, no kids, house, no house. Doesn't matter of any of that. That's just bonus stuff. But if you can say, if my life does not get better than this moment, I'm so lucky, that's heaven. That is truly heaven on earth. And I do remember when I got divorced and I moved into this townhouse, I was just renting a townhouse, and it was so bright and just light and had cream rugs, 3 boys. That was crazy. And I remember thinking to myself, if I never ever leave this townhouse, if I never even own it, I am the luckiest woman alive, because I love this place so much. I had big closets. I had a big tub. It wasn't even mine. I rented it, but I loved it so much. And that's when that concept came to me, and I went, wow, I've never said that in my life, if it doesn't get better than this. And then what happens is that becomes your baseline. That feeling becomes your baseline. And anything that takes you off of your baseline, away from that feeling, instantly, ooh, something's not right here. This isn't the right direction. And it really aligns your intuition. Because if your baseline is, I'm happy and content, As soon as you're not, you'll be able to clearly see like, ooh, what went off inside of me here? Instead of, oh, that family member did this, or I got that divorce, or I'm bankrupt, or anything external. You'll notice it here first. So the journey to that is there's a lot to be aware of. It's, what do you have to do? It's your you have to be aware of your conditioning. You have to be aware of, what habitual thoughts do you have every day that are not serving you well, that are getting you nowhere, versus the thoughts that are doing well and keeping you alive and surviving. If you wake up every day like, here we go again, fuck this shit, guarantee nothing good's happening to you. Guarantee. It's not going to. It can't. If you're constantly waiting for recognition but don't see it within yourself, it's not going to come. And it's a tiny little crumb is not going to even help. So it's a long journey, but it's a worth it journey, because what you get in the end is yourself, who you are. That's who you get, and you're happy. And I can honestly say, and I have life, and I have shit, and I have things that, like, certain things I like, oh, I used to get really upset by that, and I don't anymore. And other things, it's like you set off a nuclear explosion at the drop of a hat, right? So like, there are certain things that trigger me, and a lot of them come out of the blue today. Like now I'm like, wow, lost my shit there. Didn't know why. Let me go back inward. But for the most part, I'm finally in this space where I'm like, wow, if it doesn't get better than this, I'm so freaking lucky. I'm so freaking lucky. That's what I want for people. That's what I want everyone to feel and experience, because everything else is bonus. And I promise you that. And if I did it, oh my God, I know anyone can do it. Absolutely anyone. It's a long answer, but I love this. Let's see. I absolutely hate people. Yes, you all have less tolerance. Going back to the other question, found most interactions were fluff and bullshit. So true. You just said the same thing. Short of the bullshit. I agree. Can't even. I didn't really before, but I'm glad to have the time off from humankind. Corona bun. Okay, approaching 10 years without my boys. I can feel a shift in my energy, and I'm trying hard not to slip back into my grief. Any way to avoid it? No, Noreen, not to avoid it, to go into it, because it's coming back up for a reason. So you're going to go into it, even though it feels so scary that it's going to pull you under. It's actually going to catapult you forward. So it's coming up for a reason, and that reason not most likely, is 100% for thrusting you forward. But that's why we all go into denial and fear mode of like, oh my God, I can't do that again. It's going to take me out. The grief is so overwhelming that it's going to crush me and kill me. So we try so hard to not feel something. And really, once we feel it through, we end up at a way different, better space. So don't avoid it. Definitely don't avoid it, because it will get you one way or the other. Grief is really smart. It'll get you in the moment, or it'll get you 5 minutes from now, or it'll get you 15 years from now. So might as well like handle the little bits at a time. Also, the human energy, spirit, the emotional energy center of the body, as much as the physical, has brilliance to it. It's very smart. A human being can only withstand so much pain, and then they pass out, because the body and the mind knows the threshold of too much. And so they black out so that you can't feel anything. And it's same emotionally. The human body knows exactly how much emotional stuff we can hold, and then it blacks you out. Then it says, okay, no more, no more, no more, no more. This has been enough. And so trust that process, even though you're like, oh, hell no, mine's broken. My emotional gauge is broken. It's not. There's coping mechanisms for trauma and drama and grief that really help us. Our coping mechanisms get us to a certain point. We experience grief, and then we it's too much, and we enact a coping mechanism. It could be avoidance, it could be denial, it could be drinking, it could be something that's not good for us, but something shows up for us so that we don't feel because it's too much. And then as time goes on, as it gets safer to feel something, which is usually many years later after the trauma or drama or grief, it comes up, that grief and emotion comes up because now it is safe to deal with it. So it makes total sense that it's been 10 years and it's coming up. It means it's a safe time for you to deal with it. It means like not too many other things are taking your attention and focus now. So it's like, oh, now's a good time to deal with me a little bit more. That's a great question. Low tolerance for people. Oh my God, I can't do small talk anymore. I feel so rude. I hide from people. Hate small talk. You know that already. I feel more compassion for people. We're a mess. We are a mess. We're a mess. I love it. I love we're all messes. If we just all just agree and we connect on the messiness instead of going, well, I don't know why so-and-so's doing that. Yeah, you do. One person's alcoholic beverage is another person's cookie dough roll, is another person's shopping, is another person's gossiping. It's all the same shit. We all have some bullshit stuff we do. We're all a mess. And then we got to look at our side of the street and go, oh, I don't like that I eat cookie dough by the roll. I need to change that. But I'm not yet. Oh, I feel so much calmer. I love being home by myself. Yep. You know, what's really shocked me is that after this time people have been quarantined, some seem to have come out more selfish and entitled than ever. Yes, I think also that I think we have lost patience. I catch myself in the store, like the food store, like cutting in front of people. That's not like what happened once. And then I'm like, holy shit, Deb. Like, I have like this one track mind. And if like I'm looking for like sugar-free jelly, not for me clearly, because I like the sugar-full jelly. I don't even like jelly. I like cookie dough. But if I were to buy jelly for myself, it would not be sugar-free. But my son likes sugar-free, but I digress. So I'm like, oh, I got to find the sugar-free jelly. And I'll like just be like, sugar-free jelly, there it is. And I reached and I realized like, hello, there was a human there, Deb. And I consider myself an aware, nice person. So I have to think to myself like, wow, I think I'm nice, but I was such a dick right there. It just really was. So can we just all start to notice our own moments? Who have you cut off in traffic? Who did you have not patience for? Who did you angrily go around on the road? Because you know when that person flies around you angrily in the road, you're like, asshole. Meanwhile, you're the one that does it next second. You know what I mean? So I think I shared this with one of the classes, is that I was in the food store parking lot, because I swear to God, I don't go anywhere else but the damn food store. And you know how like there's no rules in the parking lot. I mean, there's rules, but you know how like nobody really follows the line rules. Well, I don't. So, you know, like when there's all the empty parking spots and then there's lanes and you should be going down the lanes in the parking lot I'm talking about. But sometimes like I just have to go that way. So I just go across the car parking areas because they're empty, right? But I got to be careful of who's coming because I'm being the jerk, not in the lane in the parking lot. So the other day I pulled in and someone was doing that. They were going across the parking spots and they didn't seem to be like stopping, even though I had the right of way this time. And I found myself being like, where you going, asshole? Right? Like, nice me. You little miss like life coach. Let's all be warm and fuzzy and empowering each other. And I'm all sort of pissed, right? A little lady in the like GMC something. And then I laughed to myself because she slowed down. And then I was like, oh my God, so no big deal. It's fine. Go ahead. Just whatever. Not as if I didn't just call this stranger an asshole in my own car by myself. And I thought to myself, what if when she stopped, I knew her? What if all of a sudden I was like my friend Christine? I'd laugh my ass off and I'd be like, oh my God, hey, so funny. Oh my God, whatever. But because I don't know that person, instantly I just labeled them an asshole. and I'm right and they're wrong, and look at the world and nobody likes to follow directions, even though I'm just as guilty as the same stuff and you all know what I'm talking about. That's the way of the world, and that's how it's going all the time. Because if I had known that person, I really would have totally let it go. So I'd be like, oh, I know her. She's like totally in a rush, or I know she's just not thinking in this moment, or she doesn't give a shit and it's kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? So like, think about the next time someone who does something to you that is offensive or obnoxious. Think of notice how you label them in your mind. And then ask, like, what if that was my best friend that just like reached over for the jelly in front of me? You know, would you still call them an asshole? Probably would, but you would be like, they're not really an idiot. They were just like in their head. So it's a great human awareness because we're all jerks. I promise you. I promise you. And people go, no, Deborah, I consider myself a very considerate person. I'm like, you're full of shit. Because if you think you're considerate all the time, you're not seeing when you're not. And that's the real stuff of introspection. That's the real stuff of growth. And when you can go like, holy crap, that's totally me. That was all me right there. Ooh, I reacted poorly there. Ooh, look at that. Then that's that be the change you wish to see in the world. That's what that means. And it's fascinating. It's truly, truly, truly fascinating to experience it because it lessens it a little for a second. Does that make sense? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? We're all just like, I think I'm a very considerate, compassionate, loving. I want the underdog to win. I want people to feel empowered and live their best life. But God help you if you cross me in the parking lot and be like, you asshole. And then watch it be like one of my coaching clients. And I'm going to be like, oh, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that inconsideration you just did there to me. That's what we're doing. All of a sudden in our world, we're all like pointing fingers and doing some BS. And no, we're all guilty of it. I promise you. We've all been unconsciously inconsiderate, rude, or consciously. So am I right? Do you guys know? Have you noticed this in yourself? Can you laugh about this stuff? Oh, now I have two sons on here tonight. Hello, Christopher. Okay. I hate when the person cutting my hair will ask questions. I know they're being polite. I'm thinking that they're just working a tip and could really care less about my life. I always feel like hairdressers are like little therapists. I really do. Because particularly women, where they're a little bit longer than men, maybe, actually not really. My son's hairdresser takes about an hour and a half to cut the same fucking piece of hair. It makes me like psychotic, but I digress. But I love her and he loves her. She's really good at what she does. But Jesus Christ, I want to say, lady, you could make so much more money if you'd hurry the fuck up, right? YouTube's going to ban me. I know it. But anyway, where was I? Hairdressers. I feel like they like know my life. You just sit there and talk and they're like therapists. So they should get a good tip. What is my take on 5D as opposed to 5G? So you're not talking about the like Wi-Fi 5G that's supposedly killing us all or something, whatever. 5D, to my understanding, and it's not, it's not true. I've read a lot about it, but not enough to quote other sources. But my understanding of 5D is that we are entering into, there are many dimensions within our own current reality. And 5D is that process that we're opening up to another dimension within that reality. What do I mean by that? How would I explain it? In very like layman terms, when we were Neanderthals and living in caves, and we thought we were pretty inventive by like seeing lightning strike a tree, and then we took the fire and we brought it to our cave and it made it warm. That was an invention, and that was us being very inventive and adaptive and little creative beings and little entrepreneurs or whatever. But at that time, cavemen had absolutely no awareness of the ability to someday walk into their cave and hit a little thing and a light would come on command. They had no idea that there'd be a little temperature gauge that would determine the temperature of their home. So in that regard, kind of along the same lines as 5D, there was a dimensional awareness of, back then Neanderthal was more here and now. It was basic, true survival in each moment, which is how we're still wired as humans. But as we've evolved, now all of a sudden we still have to survive in the moment, but we have this layer of dimension, or the awareness of the dimension of possibilities, where cavemen did not have the ability to think of possibilities, multiple possibilities. Anything is possible. They were literally eating and sleeping, and that's it. There was just survival. We've moved through the dimensions. So 5D is like the next layer or level of consciousness, of what I believe mediumship truly is just being able to tap into a dimension or a level or layer of consciousness that is existing in here and present all the time. But because of our evolution, we weren't certain of that. But as we move forward, we'll be crystal clear that that is true. How long is that going to take? I don't know. Maybe another 1,000 years. Time travel is a possibility at some point. We're not at the manifestation of it yet, I don't think. But that's my interpretation of the 5D world and discussion, is that it's an evolution of our consciousness, and we're opening up to different possibilities and different realms and things that we weren't aware of, that we can exist in two places at once, that cells have intelligence. This is moving into the 5D. So I hope that answers. That's a very layman's term, and it's not a new, because there's a lot of new age talk about 5D that because the way I am wired, I am not into that interpretation, the new agey interpretation. I'm into the scientific and logical and practical, if you will, but that's because of how I'm wired. So that would be the logical, scientific interpretation, not the new agey spiritual interpretation. Oh, Cassie, let me come back to you now. I'm seeing your second half of your question. I guess I was talking more about wanting validation and recognition of what I'm going through. Example, my son left for college, so I'm expecting people to validate how hard that must be when they talk to me. Yes, that type of validation. Ooh, that's a great awareness. Because we are all narcissistic. And it's a perfect example of when people are like not acknowledging what you're going through. It's twofold. It's because they're focused on their life and what they've got going on, and they're not taking the time to kind of check in with you. I mean, emotionally check in with you, not even check in to talk to you. And so that's a function of like, I'm busy in my life and I don't have time to think about what's going on in someone else's. And that's allowed. That's okay, because that's truth. But it's them being narcissistic. If we all want to keep throwing that word around, we have to own when we are narcissistic, when our world matters most. And that's all there is. And we don't take time to acknowledge other people. However, the same flip is, how come no one's acknowledging me, which is also a narcissistic point of view. So this is why I want to kind of go back and use that example as we're all narcissistic. Who are we to think that anyone should be checking in with us? Because they've got their own stuff, and I'm not checking in with their stuff because I'm going through my own stuff. There's a balance here. There's a balance of saying well, I check in on people when they're going through things. I'm aware of how hard it is. That's because there is most likely an emotional intelligence that you have, an EQ, it's called. It says that, wow, I really feel when people are going through something, I feel it. If someone lost their job, I can relate to it. I can empathize with it. Some people do not have that skill at all. At all. Most people, I see it every single day. I actually have a rule in all of my classes that I teach for this purpose, because my rule is that any class you take with me, particularly the ones that run for weeks and weeks at a time, at no point is anyone to ever give advice to anybody else in that circle, in that class, ever. And I am crazy about this. Why? Because nobody wants advice. I don't want to hear what I should do. My son just moved to California. I don't need advice. I didn't ask for advice. I'm just expressing I'm sad. So it's hard. People don't really meet us where we're at. They're not listening. And everyone jumps in to tell us like, oh, I went through that. And then we don't listen. And people do need to feel heard and feel like, have you been there? And it's a skill that people either have or they don't. So it depends on who you're looking for from. Like, are you going to a dry well, somebody who cannot empathize? Then you have to change your expectation of that particular person or people. And then just remember the ones who do. But why are you looking for that external validation? I think it's human to want someone to hear you, to say, oh my God, this must be so rough for you. However, we also don't want to stay there. Sometimes we stay in a particular emotional pattern because we think if we stay there, this is unconscious, we think if we stay in that space of grief or sadness or whatever, that eventually someone will see us, hear us, pick us up and carry us along and help us. And that's an unconscious kind of learned helplessness thing. I'm not saying you have this, Cassie. I'm just expanding on your question. That is a real thing that happens and why people get stuck, and they're waiting for someone to see them instead of going, okay, gotcha. No one is coming. No one is going to acknowledge this with me. Then I need to. Always comes back to self. So that's that. Also, it depends on if you have friends who have younger children, they don't get it yet. They have no idea. I had no idea that, when people would talk to me about their children leaving for college, I remember thinking my kids were little and I was like, I'm so fucking jealous. Like, what are you talking about? They're leaving you and you don't have to give them a bath. Oh my God, I can't wait for that day. I remember that very, very vividly and clearly. Now I'm at the point, now I'm like, oh, I get it now. I'm getting it. So it depends on who you ask for the advice from. I think we all need like a 90-year-old sage grandmother, grandfather figure to kind of pave the way for all of us. Does that make sense? Does that help a little bit better? Maria, I lost it on the Spectrum lady today on the phone. I lost it on the Nutrisystem lady a couple weeks ago. It was epic. It was epic. I didn't even feel guilty. I was fucking pissed. I'm sorry. My mouth is big tonight. But I was so pissed because I just wanted to cancel. I started Nutrisystem in January. I was doing quite well on it. And then COVID happened. And then I was like, I don't really need Nutrisystem. And then it kept coming because I didn't stop the thing. So I was eating Nutrisystem meals and regular meals and their shitty snacks. And then finally, when I decided, oh my God, I need to cancel this stupid thing, there's no place where you can cancel. You have to call, but the call service is 19 years behind because of COVID. And so I'm on the phone for like 19 years waiting to talk to a woman to cancel a food program that I haven't even been eating and doing and following. And I spend so much money on this crap food that it's still in our cabinet. So I finally get the lady and she says, oh, can I talk you into getting? I was like, no, cancel my order. Oh, I'm so sorry if you're unhappy. Is there anything I could offer you 20% off? And I was like, lady, listen to me. I understand that it is your job to try to keep me as a customer. So you keep getting my money. And I understand you are going to offer me this shit for 90% off by 15 minutes. I'm going to save you the time. If you give this shit to me for free, I don't want it. Cancel it. Right? I swear to God, I thought I was like getting punked. She was completely silent. The rage monster within me has been released. Quiet. And I thought she was going to be like, fine, I'll just cancel you. No, she stuck to her script. She literally, I shit you not, she literally said, I can offer you a 3-month package. Ladies and gentlemen, it was so bad. My sons walked in the moment and they were like, who is mom talking to? Because I was like, I'm not kidding. Stop asking me questions and cancel the Nutrisystem. I'm a fat fuck and I didn't follow your program, but I spent a shit ton of money on it. And now I'm finally being the adult and calling and canceling, and you won't let me do that. It was epic. So Maria, I'm with you. I'm with you. And then I do the whole, I know it's really not your fault and you're not in charge, but I know you have to do the script and stuff, but like, come on, this is ridiculous. Like, can't I, I did that, but yeah. So that's a true story. Ask my sons. They walked in. They're like, oh my God, what's happening? Who killed one of her bone? It was not pretty. So that whole like, press 1 for customer service. Press 2 if you want to pay a bill. Press 3 if you want to pay a bill now. Press 4 if you want to pay a bill, splitting in 12 payments with a credit card using 2 cards. Press 6 if you, it's like, give me a person and then let them put me somewhere. So aggravating. I'm getting tense. I'm hot. Getting hot. Oh my God. Jane said, I'm the first person to recognize when I'm the asshole, and my oldest son loves to point it out in case I didn't notice it myself. Yes, I think this is why kids are really helpful for our ego, because you can't possibly be conceited and be a parent. You can't, because the minute you're like feeling good, they're like, no, stop, you're a loser, you're a dork. And you're like, I am? Yeah, so it's good. It's all good. Kim, thank you. Deborah, thank you. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. Oh my God. I will never be a Nutrisystem client again. I will never lose weight again, you assholes. There, I got you. I've saved my $219 a month. Please, please. Can we get a CEO of Nutrisystem on the line right now? I'm going to offer them 90% off my coaching program. When I see a wrong way driver, I say to myself, oh, look, they're going their favorite way. I say it to other people too when I'm making a mistake. Oh, it's just my favorite way. That's a good way of looking at it. I like that. Like, my family's now going to hate that one because I'm going to say that. Okay, let's see. Have I seen The World Unseen? I did not read that book or see it. Let's see. Hair, we are like therapists. Yep. Jane, good answer to Cassie. I'm turned into a raging maniac in the food store. I fly into a rage the second I have to put on a mask and can't breathe. We're all crazy, and if we could just own it, I think we'd have more compassion. I love when people are like, I can't stand this shit in the store. I'm like, oh, trust me. I know. I get it. I like being the person of being like, I'm on your team. I got you. I got you. Oh, it's great. I like human connection. We only connect on the real, though. You guys remember that? We only connect on the real. Nobody connects on, yeah, it's great. I had a barbecue this weekend. So great. Yeah. Yeah, I ordered, God, I got those 96 red Solo cups. I don't know what I'm going to do with them now. I mean, I've heard people that have actual conversations like this where I'm like, how did you live to be this old already? I don't know. There are shitty snacks. I'm going to take a picture of my snacks that I still have from Nutrisystem. I just read. Oh my gosh. Greg just wrote, guess what I've been eating at work? He's been eating. Oh my God, this is a true story. He has been taking the Nutrisystem that's now 7 months old, but because it's not fresh food and it's totally packaged and totally like lots of sodium and preservatives, he's been now, that's true. I have seen the dent in the Nutrisystem cabinet. I'm taking a picture of the cabinet when I leave here check my Facebook page later for photo documentation of this because at least you're eating it. It was worth a lot of money. And you look great, Greg. You're losing so much weight. Oh my God. That is so funny. But maybe that's intuitively the universe was like, he's going to need some lunch. So Deb, you need to go on this Nutrisystem and you need to not follow through with it. So Greg has lunch in September. It could work like that. It could happen. Oh my God. So funny. Thank you. I definitely feel stuck in the learn helplessness pattern. Yes. Time to take my class. I'm telling you. One thing I do know, I'll move your shit so fast. I will help you move your shit and you will end up loving yourself because it's true and real. And I've been through it and I hide nothing. I hide nothing. I've been there, done that. Nothing's beneath me. Okay, except for this one. See? Look at this. I just say this, and I'm going to read this next question. How do I let go of anger for my ex so I can move on and live in peace? I want karma for him. Not wishing him harm. Still love him. Just want him to feel the same heartbreak he caused me. Oh, no. I wish my ex lots of harm. I have. And can't ever possibly be enough. But I'm just kidding. I'm fine now. So how can you let anger go? This has been an issue for me because I believe my interpretation of his experience in life is he's very much stuck in learned helplessness, which is a button on me. So how do you let go of the anger? First, I would tell you not to try to let go of the anger. It's counterintuitive. Everybody says you got to let it go, right? Our brilliant advice of anything unpleasant is we tell people, you got to let it go. Just let it go. And I have a deep issue with that advice because humans, we're pretty smart. We're pretty good. We are. We're a mess, but we're pretty good. When we can let go of something, we do. We totally do. It happens. Just let it go. All of a sudden, something's just let it go. For the things that we can't let go, you can't tell someone to let it go because you're like, I'm trying to let it go, but I can't let it go. And the more you tell me to let it go, the more I can't let it go. And now I'm getting pissed at you and me because I can't let it go. And it just keeps festering. So my first thing would say, don't try to let it go. Not yet. It will happen. I know you want to let it go because you want to be able to move on in a way that feels good to you. But I promise you, you'll move on when you allow the anger to be there, because the anger is serving a purpose and it's moving energy in your body. Anger is not a bad emotion. It's kind of bad, like when we physically hurt people from it. I wouldn't recommend that, although I've fantasized about that. Certain people, but it wouldn't help. It would make things worse. So anger is not a bad emotion. If it was a bad emotion, if we weren't supposed to experience and express emotion of anger, we wouldn't have been given the anger of emotion to have. So it's the emotion of anger, sorry. So don't try to let it go. Let yourself have it. Let yourself be it. Let yourself experience it. Let those conversations in your head that you wish you had with him, or you wish you could say to him, that those constant mean conversations that we blast at people that we're angry with, that we say in our own heads. Let that happen. At some point, when you notice you're having these thoughts, ask yourself in that moment, do I really want to have this thought right now? Is this really helping me? Do I really want to do this right now? 9 times out of 10, your own internal system will go, no, I really don't feel like having this argument in my brain right now. I really don't feel like repeating this angry pattern over and over. I really don't. And when you hear that, no, I don't, then stop. Stop the thinking. 4 minutes later, it might return. You stop yourself and you ask again, do I really need to do this right now? Do I need to have this conversation right now? No, I don't. Okay, then stop. And so it's a pattern. It's like lifting a weight. Over time, you build muscle. Over time, you exercise this and it gets less and less. In the off chance that you say, do I really want to hold this thought and emotion right now? And you answer to yourself, yes, I do. You let yourself. Because in that moment, we are consciously choosing a behavior and a thought. which one means we won't ruminate on it too long. It'll have a shelf life and it'll be gone from us faster. And two, we know what we're doing. We're not getting spun into a fairy tale that we're not unconscious. We're conscious saying, yes, I do want to have this argument in my head. And yes, I am angry about this and I am sad and I'm hurt. And I'd like to talk about it with myself in this moment. And then you let yourself do it. And those two tactics have truly helped me finally let go of anger at my ex-husband, at family members, where it's true, like it's a process. It truly is a process. So what you can't let go of, don't try to. You will. I promise you will. But you're not going to by like, oh, I sat in a a field of poppies and I finally let that shit go and it was fine. That doesn't, no, I don't know. That does not work for me. That would not be my method. It's never worked. So let yourself have it and then ask yourself, do I want to do this right now? If yes, have at it. If no, change your thought over and over and over. And you know what? Karma's an annoying thing. But karma is such a big topic because I found myself so many times wishing for someone's karma, wanting to see their karma. And I spent a lot of energy hoping and wishing for that I really could have put back into myself and gotten myself further ahead in those times, which would have been the ultimate karma for them. But that's what we do as humans. So karma is a natural inclination to wish, but it doesn't really work like that. But it does always come back around. Nobody has a fairy tale ending. That's for sure. So good luck. Don't try to let it go. Not yet. Carolyn is saying, would you be willing to cancel my Weight Watchers plan? Oh my God. Oh my God. Spectrum sucks. Oh my God. I was wondering if you have a pet and they pass away, will you see them in heaven? Absolutely. 100% you will. Let's see. Yes. Marnie is saying, I know when I'm behaving badly, I make the choice to do it or not. I have to pay the consequence of feeling like an asshole when I do act like one. Yeah, that's always awful. Let's see. My cousin didn't think it was that bad. She lost 40 pounds. I tried it and told her it was shit food. Yeah, see, I'm not like a culinary genius, so I honestly did not think the food was that bad. Some of it was. But COVID happened. Oh yeah, Greg, you're definitely going to have to list this one with lots of curse words in it. Oh my goodness. Let's see. ETA is the next course for me. I'm loving the coaching program. So much progress. You should see my bathroom. Yay! This week we did looking at our houses and energy and changing something in our house to move the energy. What is ETA? ETA is my really intense, emotionally intense. The coaching is intense too, but ETA is an internal emotional scrubbing of old conditioning, old patterns, and old stuff. Super emotionally intense experience called it's energy transformation awareness. And it's usually held over 6 weeks. This past time in March, I did it for the first time on Zoom because of COVID happened. I didn't think it could be done, not successfully over the internet because I had always done it in person with everybody. But it worked. It definitely worked quite well through Zoom. So I will offer it again. I'm looking at the dates now. So it's pretty intense. It's six weeks, maybe 8 weeks, because I don't want people on the computer for like 8 hours at a time. So I love it though. It is super, super, super powerful. We go over core beliefs. We go about energy. We talk about how our energy literally and our thoughts and our beliefs affect our physical body, where our thoughts and beliefs came from, what conditioning and core beliefs are outdated that we keep holding on to. Usually our family of origin puts a template into our being, and then at some point we become an adult and we don't agree with that template, but we don't change it. So then we meet internal resistance, and then we feel stuck, and none of that stuff is true. We're all doing perfectly. We're just so unconscious. We're all so unaware. So yeah, that's energy transformation awareness. I probably will not start it until January, just because I finished the coaching at the end of October. I would not start ETA up over the holidays. No way, because it's too much. So probably January would be when I start that. Yeah, a lot of people took ETA in here. Hello, Martha. You missed a good rant. I did a lot of F-bombs tonight. I'm mellow only because now it's like an hour and a half into this. But I actually used your word earlier. I used the word dullard, and I thought of you, and I didn't see you. But I was like, Martha's gonna be proud of me because I used the word dullard. So you are gonna have to watch this back to look for that. So I think our work here is done tonight. I do have a virtual online gallery next week. I actually have 2 of them next week. One is for anybody who signed up for the Cohoes Music Hall Gallery in March and it was canceled on. I'm doing a specific gallery only for the people who were intending, and their families who were intending to come to the Cohoes Music Hall, and I think that's next Tuesday. I have to check my phone. And then I have 3 galleries next week. 2 online. One is for Cohoes people. The other is a limited number of just anyone else who wants to attend a virtual gallery. And there's always a limited number, somewhere between 20 and 25. Sometimes I let like a couple of friends of mine, like Eileen likes to join them, and my dad comes through. So if you see a larger number, that's why, because I invited like somebody who just wanted something to do. I think that one's Wednesday night. And then the 23rd, I have my first outdoor real person gallery next week. It was sold out, but we just added another one for October 13th. That's at the Winding Hills Golf Course in Montgomery. So October 13th, it's not sold out yet, but it probably will be because they took the overflow from the first one and started arranging seats or selling seats for the second one. So October 13th is the next outdoor. It's live. It's totally social distancing. The tent can hold 300 people, but obviously there's not going to be 300 people there. I think they're capping it out at 40 or 50. It might be 50 to keep social distancing. Very safe, outdoors, rain or shine, under a tent. So I'm so excited to like get back in front of people. And then I'm going to run to the car and be like, yeah, no, don't talk about shallow dullard stuff. So on that note, that's all I think I have coming up. Meditation Sunday nights, you guys. We do a lot more work like this. So if you feel like you can't do it, if you are looking for something different to like get yourself into a different frame of thinking and being, please come try a meditation class. It's online. Everything I'm doing right now, other than that one gallery or 2 galleries, is all online. So join me. It's working. I'm enjoying Zoom. I don't feel disconnected from everybody. I actually feel like we're all in my center. I'm just in my pajamas most of the time, like tonight. These are my pajamas. So have a great week. Have a great night. Thank you for always tuning in. I mean, I am always so amazed at people who are interested in this. So one of these days soon, for my faithful followers, all of you who sit with me through the end, I will be answering intuitive questions again. But I don't announce that largely because I get these, what do you call those birds that they fly down? Oh my God, what the hell? What are they called? When they pick a carcass? Holy crap, I'm tired. Something with S. Does anyone know the word I'm talking about? If you think of it, because I'm not going to be able to like hang up. What are those birds called that they come down, they pick a carcass and they pick it apart? Scavenger? No. Oh shit. What is it called? What's that bird called? Vulture. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Oh my God. I was like really getting sick in my stomach. Like, why can't I think of it? I get these vultures that come through. They've never seen anything I've done, but they're like, oh my God, this lady's going to answer my question for free. And I'm like, no, I want my faithful people who like really enjoy hearing me rant too. So So soon I'll be doing an intuitive questions night, and only you know that now because you are the faithful followers. So on that note, thank you guys so much and have a great rest of your night and week. So goodbye.